seconds while you dream. A life never lives in peace. As you stand upon the edge, woven by a single thread, and fate may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking right at your door. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, the fight is at your door. Take up the cause. As you stand upon the edge, laying in the balance, and flame may fall down upon you, while the devil is knocking. So are you restless? Each night you hear the drums roar. Awaken, awaken, the voice begins to call you while you hunger. A taste of destiny you're searching for. Awaken, awaken, awaken.
But it's not the man you have to fear. It's the beast.
Climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight. And that's all we'll ever like, but that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this, never like, beat it, never
Sorry, I stood up from my desk. Yeah. One second. One second. There'd be a plan for a little bit more hyped kind of thing going on, but I still setting stuff up. It was last minute, so 1 second. I got this. I swear I know what I'm doing. It's not like I haven't been doing streaming for 2 years. Do this. Okay. So playing this today. Super chill. I'm not playing anything crazy. I have the time, and you know what? I want to make a character. It's loud. It's always a pastime for me to make characters, and I've noticed with my friend groups is making characters is difficult. To say the least, it's difficult. So what I want to do here is just try to get rid of that difficulty, basically. And even though it might not seem crazy, or oh well, making a character is super easy. Cool. It's not easy for other people. So what I want to do is basically help out. Right now, I'm trying to get the chat open because I have something on my second monitor. I won't be using it, but I still have it. I just want to have a chat opening. I don't want to share my screen just yet because I am using my main monitor. So that's the biggest thing is I want to... Here we go. And I want to have it on screen too, just in case. Alright, if I do that... Oh, it doesn't. Alright, cool. So I'm going to type something... I'm going to type something here. And why are my chats not updating? Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Remove. Got that. Get this out of here. Boom. No, stop. This. 1 second. Want to adjust this. There's nothing hype, I would say. This is fine. I'm gonna... Sorry, I didn't know. I was planning on doing the pop-out chat, and I know we still can't see my screen. And I'm looking at the music. You can't even hear the music, it seems like, because my desktop audio is barely even moving. So, that's kind of sucky. I wish I could turn it down for myself so you guys could hear it, but okay. Go here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, we're here. Why is that not working now? Oh. I wanted to put the music. Alright, 1 second. Do this. Boom. That. Or, sorry, that. Okay. Easy. This needs to come down a bit. Okay. Okay. I believe there we go. Set. It's all good. Woo. So the one thing that I'm scared about is copyright infringement with showing the book. But I'm creating my own derivative of it. I'm not. I've watched many videos. People have showed the book and everything, I will not be showing the whole book. That's just asking to get in trouble. That's also why I have this covering a little bit of it, just in case. I don't want people copying the book for my stream. That's not all that I want. If you want to support Paizo, Pathfinder's a really fun system. I'm sure that's why you're here, because you like Paizo and Pathfinder in general. A really cool system. I'll do that. And in general, I will not be scrolling through the pages. I will most likely be doing table of contents and going from there. Just to stop that. I don't want... And if you want to support Paizo, please fucking support Paizo with Pathfinder 2nd edition. If you're not a fan of Pathfinder 1st edition, 2nd edition is different. I enjoyed a lot. I stopped playing D&D 5e because of it. It is a completely different system, and I think a lot of games can learn from this. So, to start off, I need a class. And I'm actually going to pull up right here. I have another monitor going. Pull up this, and I'm actually going to see how many class. So, I'm going to do one martial class and one... Well, the plan is to do one martial, one spellcaster. How that goes, I don't know. Depending on how it goes, I'll see if I actually want to do a martial spellcaster. But martial first, because martial, I feel like that's... it's easier to start up, and you have a little bit other things going on with it. While spellcasters, it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to start with martial first. So I'm looking up how many classes there are. So there's 12 classes. I am going to roll a d12 just to keep it a little bit randomized. So like not, so just to show like I didn't prepare anything. In reality, I didn't. So I have my dice right here, and I'm going to roll it. Where is it? D12. 11, I believe that's sorcerer. But I want to do martial first, so I'll roll again. So 6. Druid. That's still spellcaster. Dang, I didn't. I guess I didn't prepare this. Oh, you know what? It's actually a good idea. So we're do. Barb is 1. Monk is 2. Sorry, monk is 2. Fighter is 3, and then we'll do rogue as 4. Just to keep it fair. So. Monk and rogue dexterity classes, barb, fighter, you can do strength or whatever on them, and these will be level 2 characters. Yeah, level 2 characters, but I'll go step by step, you know, 1 and all that jazz. So barbarian, cool, very simple, to the point, definitely can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna go here. Immediately cover that. Like I said, just trying to keep as much. Please support Paizo. Do an amazing job with this system. So Barbarian is our class for today. Pretty simple. I mean, I'll probably take it slow. Try not to overwhelm with too much stuff, because I've done it before. Now we need to pick race. And race. Go here. So for Pathfinder 2nd edition, they're called ancestries. Pretty sick. Oh, no. Exactly what I said I didn't want to do, which was scroll. Okay. Let's see. No advanced players guide races. That would be a little bit too much, I think. So barbarian, they are based off of strength and constitution. So we can make somebody based off of strength and constitution. We don't have to, but we totally can. But for me personally, besides the airplane in the background, I like to create the character in my head before I do this. So to not get a little bit too complicated with it, because I already have barbarian ideas. We can make, let's base it off of a game character. What's a good game character to base it off of? Think to keep it basic, we will do a human barbarian. Very simple, but still really strong human barbarian. So we'll do that. Human barbarian. And the reason I'm putting these out is so that I remember exactly what they are. So I always like to first start off with character idea. And so today, like, I didn't have a character idea, so I'm kind of like thinking of a character idea on the spot. We got barbarian, and barbarians, they're all about raging and being strong, but barbarians have a couple different things. So and I'm also not too worried about it, because I mean, you can find the whole player's handbook on this one website, Arcane.net. It's open license, you're able to share it and everything. Of course, don't like copy and paste the book and stuff like that. Don't be stupid. Support Paizo. So human barbarian. How about we do a giant barbarian? So, as in, there's multiple different like instincts. That's what they call for barbarians. And there's a giant instinct. So how about we do a giant instinct barbarian? That would be cool. I like the giant instinct already. So human giant. Say barbarian. Giant instinct. Do it that way. Human barbarian giant instinct. Cool. So we'll go here. Character name. I'll put that in last. Class barbarian. Ancestry and heritage. So I'll get to heritages in a second. So your ancestry is what race you pick. A class is your class you pick. Do that. NA, because why does it matter to me? Background, we'll do background in a second. Deity, we're just gonna put question mark. Size, medium. So this is like a fillable character sheet. Doesn't matter. I just use this character sheet because it's easy to get through and I can save on it and still have a free character sheet to use. Hero points we don't need. Level 1. All of this other stuff, we're not gonna do that yet. Let's just figure out our character. So this is also what I'm gonna do. So you see how it says strength, dex, con, and wiz, and charisma. So my tip is always to do this. So you have 6 10s, and of course, if you want to roll, you're more than welcome to roll. I do point buy. I prefer point buy. I think it's a lot nicer. Creates a little bit more well-rounded characters, in my opinion, which is nice. So do that. Traits. It's human. So to find out what your traits are, because I got lost on it for a while. When you go to human, it'll say traits right here. Human, humanoid. Because there are things that do matter. Like damage types, especially like certain people, depending on your DM or who you're playing with. They could be against human creatures, elven creatures, dwarven creatures. Like, you know, they could be against all of that stuff. So that's why having your traits down is very important because of that. And then go back Do that. Anything else I need to do before I move on to the next step? I got my human barbarian. Awesome. Hit points, we're not going to do hit points now. And if I see him a little scattered all over the place, it's because it has been a while since I've made like a character through this. I do use an app to create the character, but the problem is that people who have iPhone don't have access to the app, and also it's nice to know how your how every ability, how every single thing works. So it's really nice to have it like that. So do that. Character name, we'll do that last. Background. So next is gonna be background. We figured out, we got all this down. Let's go to backgrounds. Oops. Backgrounds. So you have all these different types of backgrounds, and backgrounds really flesh out your character before, let's say, becoming an adventurer. If you want to call your character an adventurer, of course, but it's what your character did. So we got a giant barbarian human. Let's see. What would be interesting? A laborer sounds interesting. I think this would be cool. A laborer. That would be interesting. Or nomad. Nomad would be interesting. Or you come from a noble family that has mastered the technique of giant strength. That'd be cool too. But I'm gonna go with laborer. Laborers is cool. Okay, so I'm trained. This is where it's gonna get a little bit more things. You're not just writing stuff down. I'm trained in athletics and the labor lore skill. You're probably wondering, what's labor lore? Labor lore is, it'll have something at the end that will explain it to you. But you have these right here, these lore skills. You're just gonna put down what it gives you. Everybody gets a lore skill. So labor lore, and I am trained in it. So mark the T. I'll +3. So when you're trained, there's a little neat key that they put in the top of the character sheet. You can see right here, is that if you are trained, it is 2 plus your level. Really neat. We're level 1, so it's 3. This already did it because I put the level already. Just remember that is trained is 2 plus your level. Easy. Go from there. Okay. So do that, and now we have the Hefty Hauler skill feat in athletics. So Hefty Hauler has acrobatics and I believe athletics version of it. So we just go down here, and this is background, right? So skill feats, Hefty Hauler, and then parentheses athletics. Easy. So labor, it's almost done, and I don't normally do it this way, but the way that I'm explaining it, this is how I'm going to do it. So when we get to ability boosts are a +2, and I say that because these 10s, these are going to go up by +2. So if it says you have so this one says for labor, it says one must be strength or constitution. So I can choose to boost my strength or constitution, and I get a free one. Now a key thing to remember is that this says strength or constitution and one a free ability boost. I cannot choose strength for one of the two, and then with the free one choose strength. I can't do that. That is not allowed. But I can do strength I can choose strength, and then for my free ability boost I can choose constitution. I can choose something else. I cannot double up on my ability boost for this section. So for backgrounds, you cannot double it up, and I'll explain more as we go on about the not doubling up. You can never double up in general, but like I said, I'll go more on top. So for this one, I'm going to go with strength. So you're gonna go up 2, so it's gonna become a 12. And for the free ability boost, because I am a giant, I'm actually going to choose Constitution. So good. All set right there. Labor is done. We have everything down for it. No, I'm just keeping track right here. And of course, everybody makes their characters differently. Totally fine. This is just how I'm doing it today. It's the way I'm explaining it. And if something does change, I will go back and change it. I know it'll be different if people want to watch the live stream later on, but I can always go back and I can edit something in there saying that I changed it. But we're all good. Labor is done. Got that done. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Background's all good. So now let's go back to human. So human, they give you a couple things. So first we're going to start off with, we're going to go down this list. Don't worry about hit points yet. You don't need to do that. Because depending on your constitution and your class, that will change. Don't worry about hit points too much. I will put down human HP right here is 8. So that later on I don't have to come back and look at this to double check. So our speed is 25 feet. So we go here, 25, easy. Now for this one is we have 2 free ability boosts. We can put it anywhere. With human, we are not stuck in one boost. We can put it in multiple different areas. So, barbarian, I think my constitution and strength are getting there. I'm gonna buff my strength again with one of them, so we're gonna go up to 14. And then my second boost, you know what? Because why not? Everybody makes fun of dumb barbarians. I'm going to put it in intelligence. So I have a 14, 10. I have a 14 strength, 10 in dex, 12 in con, 12 intelligence, 10 and 10 in wisdom and charisma. So we are not dumb. We're above average in smarts. Because we can. Because our character, human laborer, barbarian, the people that we worked for thought we were stupid, but we are actually smart. We're a smart barbarian. So we got that. Languages. So we know common. So you just go down here. Languages, we know common. Everybody knows common. Unless you don't want to know common. That's one of the things that I really do enjoy. There's a story of this high school. What is it? One of the girls that wanted to play D&D with them, she was a native Spanish speaker. English was her second language, and she couldn't really speak English that well. And people think that common is English. Common is just a common language between the people. So depending on your games, that can always change. But it's more just known. And I remember them saying in the story was that since she spoke broken English, they made her character not know common. Or she knew common, but she was learning common. And I thought it was the most heartfelt thing that they could have done for her. So you don't need to know common. It's just one of the biggest things. Especially if you're playing with people that know multiple languages. You should kind of like get that barrier going between you guys so you can help each other out. So that you're not all saying the same thing. I mean, of course you don't have to go as far as that, but you know, one of those things. So it says additional languages equal to our intelligence modifier. So before we do this, let's actually go to the barbarian page. So go here. So when you get to the barbarian page, or any class page, they're all going to look the same. You're going to want to look at your key ability. So and other classes have multiple key abilities. Barbarian only has one key ability, strength. Rogue, let's go to Rogue so I can show you that. Rogue has dexterity or other. This is where it gets tricky. Because Rogue, depending on your bracket, as they call it. So for Barbarian, we have the instinct, Rogues have the racket. And this will tell you if you do that. But let's go to another one that gives you a definitive answer. So just be careful when you're doing this, is that if it says dexterity or other, it means that whatever your subclass is will determine what your key ability is or what you can choose. Pretty cool. So fighter, let's go to fighter. So fighter is strength or dexterity. So no subclass or anything that we have to worry about. We can choose between strength or dex. Awesome. For fighter. Now let's go back to barbarian. Barbarian's simple. We get strength. So now let's go to strength. And we'll put 16. Because it's boosting our strength again. Only one boost. Sorry. Have to burp. Sorry about that. So it's only boosting our strength. We're set. Now let's go back to human. Oops. Human. Now it says languages, additional languages equal to your intelligence modifier. Well, we're not done with the boost just yet. When you have done your background, your race, and your class boost, you get to boost 4 more times. Now remember what I was saying about stacking. With these boosts, you cannot, so I have 4. I can't be like, okay, I'm going to boost to 18. That's 1 boost. Cool. I can't boost again to 20. It doesn't work like that. You're not allowed to boost again to 20. And that, you wouldn't even be able to boost to 20. There's a rule, there's another rule. They changed it. I'm not going to talk about that just yet. So we're going to boost to 18. We can't stack it. So let's see. Whoops. We're not dumb. So, as in, let's put more intelligence. Because they thought we were just when we worked for them, they were just a dumb human that did this. But, labor, being a laborer, we have come out even stronger. So we can take more punches. And you know what? We've become wiser with time. So let's give ourselves some wisdom. All done. Boosts are done. You don't have to worry about them anymore. So I have an 18 in strength, a 10 in dex, a 14 in con, 14 in intelligence, 12 in wisdom, and a 10 in charisma. We're not so good at talking to people, nor do we have cat-like reflexes, but we are smart and wise with the strength to match it if people want to challenge us. So do that. 10. So you're going to see on mine, it's starting to autofill certain things. Don't worry about that. I will explain that also. So that. Okay, so all of our scores are done. So you're going to see these numbers are popping up. So 11 to 12 is a +1. 13 to 14 is a +2. 15 to 16 is a +3, and then an 18-19 is +4, and then so on and so forth. The increments keep going up. Now, with this, it's already autofilled, and you can see that there's some skills over here that's autofilled. What's happening here is that this is what I recommend doing, is that you go through here, and you see where it says, it's probably hard to see on here, but what you can do here is that it says like in the skills like dex and strength and everything how it's already filled. What you want to do here, go through and put the modifiers that correspond with these. So dex, I have a 0 my modifier, which would be this right here, which would be this number. I would put a 0 there, but whatever your class would be or your boost would be, you would put the modifier. I don't have one, so I don't need to put one. So now for here, intelligence. Oh wait, I have an intelligence modifier, so I can put a 2 there. So I put a 2 there. Now we go down a bit, and I have a modifier again for strength. I put a 4 there because my modifier is 4, and so on and so forth. A 2 for the intelligence, a 2 for labor lore. Lores will always correspond with intelligence because it's how good you are and how smart you are with that lore skill. And yes, you can get multiple lures depending on feeds and stuff like that, which I'll talk about more later on. And then look, I go down even more, and I have a 1 in my wisdom. I'm pointing at my screen, but I realize you guys can't see my you guys can't see me, and I'm pointing at my screen. I have a 1 in wisdom. Cool. I have a 1 in this ability modifier, so I come down here and I put 1, put for medicine and nature, intelligence, charisma. I have a 0 again, so I don't put anything there. I keep it at 0. And, you know, so on and so forth, dex and all that. Good. We're set there, and we just leave it like that. So you should be all set there with those skills. Now, of course, these numbers will change. Don't worry too much about it right now. We're still going through it. So now let's do our languages. So we get additional languages equal to our intelligence modifier. Well, we're not. We have a high intelligence. Well, decent intelligence. We have 2. So we can learn 2 more languages. So we know common. Let's see. What do we want to know? Being a laborer, we've probably come across multiple races at a time. I would say let's do Dwarven. I think Dwarven would be good. And let's do gnome also. And I say gnome because if we're a laborer and stuff like that, we've probably seen so many different things. So we'll do gnome because gnomes are engineers, they're smart and stuff like that. So let's do that. So we're all good here. Size is good, speed is good, boost is good, languages are good, traits are good. Now hit points. Now remember, I put hit points up here. So now where you're gonna find your total hit points, you go to your class. For me, it's barbarian. Depending on your class, it will show differently. So barbarian, it's showing me that I gain 12 hit points plus my constitution modifier. Well, my constitution modifier is 2. Awesome. So let's go. So that's giving me 14. Now, my ancestry HP, I can add that to my hit points. Well, I can as an I am, you do, you add them both together. So now 14, 8, 22, right? So I have 22 HP. Easy. So 8, 14, 22. All set there. So now I go here. Your max is 22. Current, don't need to worry about that. That's if you're taking damage, you can, you know, do stuff like that. Temporary, dying, wounded. I'll talk about that stuff too. Resistance, immunities. Depending on what you are, you will get resistances and immunities. Immunities are later on. Resistances are early. Conditions, wounded. Deafened, stunned, and all that jazz. Now, this is where we're gonna start. It's gonna move a little bit quicker. I'll try to take my time on here. So just like how with the human, we see this sidebar. We're doing this sidebar again. Let me turn my mic up because I am leaning back. We see this sidebar again. Now we'll start down the list. Now all of these are gonna look different depending on your class. So I'm an expert in perception. So I go here. So it says TEML, trained, expert, master, legendary. We're expert. Click expert. For you, just check it. Now, when you're doing this on a piece of paper, remember, trained and everything gives you different stuff. So you look at the top left of your character sheet. It's going to be 4 plus your level. We're level 1. So what that means for us is that we get to add 5 to our perception, and my wisdom is only 1, so I have a 6 total. Simple, awesome. When you see items, when you see this thing item, what that means is that you can pick up an item, or you can get an item that can change how this works. And almost everything you can change, it has item scores, because that you can homebrew items that change things, blah blah, works out. We don't have an item, we don't have a magical item, we're level 1, we're just creating our adventure. Awesome. Senses only, that's only for special races. If you play a catfolk, they can smell easier. pretty sick. I like it a lot. Now, don't have to worry about that. So expert in perception, cool. Go do that. So just as a way of me helping you as much as I can, because I am a person that asks a lot of questions. Let's go to Ranger. Oh, actually, no, that's bad. There's a class that doesn't have perception at all. I'm trying to find it. Oh, actually, they all have perception, I guess. Maybe it's a different one. But we'll just do Rogue. Because Rogue is what I was showing earlier, and I'll just keep... Rogue will be my comeback to show, because this class is a little bit, complicated for first time going through. Easy. So you see expert perception also, they would do the same thing as that. So now let's go back to Barbarian. Let me actually do that. Go back to Barbarian. I'm an expert in Fortitude, trained in Reflex, and expert in Will. Now, what are those? So when you go over here, these are your saving throws. So you go here, and this would be where it is in the center column. So mine, I've already put my character sheet's already put it for me, but you'll put it down when you get here. Is your con modifier, your dex modifier, and your wisdom modifier. So for me, it's already done because I'm using this sheet. I am an expert in Fortitude. Click the oops. I'm an expert. Yep. I'm an expert in Fortitude. I'm trained in Reflex. Go here. And Will, I'm expert also. Awesome. So now I have a 736 because of that. And remember, depending on if you're trained trained expert, master, legendary, will determine what bonuses you get. So remember, always reference back to the top left when you're doing these skills. With level 1, so for trained, highest is 3. For expert, highest is 5. So now let's continue on. Just continue on through this list. So here, I am trained in athletics. I actually want to go back to labor because I think I forgot something. Yeah. So this is what I forgot with labor, is that it gives me the it says that I'm trained in athletics. So go here, because I remember seeing it. There, boom, I'm trained. Now, the problem with it is that I have permanently lost a skill. And I say I've permanently lost one because I'm trained in athletics here. I'm trained in athletics and labor, and I'm trained in athletics for Barbarian. Well, Barbarian is going to be trained, and so is labor. I can't switch them out because they are giving them to me. So all I can do here is it's a wasted skill, and I can only do trained in a number of additional skills to 3 plus my intelligence modifier. So for me, it's going to be 5. For you, it's going to be different depending on your intelligence modifier. So 3. So let's choose. We got that. We got athletics. Let's do Arcana. I like Arcana personally. So even though we're not good with wisdom, for what I'm going for with my character, I think doing survival would be cool. Just to fit in his character, to fit this character a little bit more. So I'm gonna take trained in this, in survival. And remember, depending on your class is gonna determine what you're trained in and what you can choose. So do that. So I have 3 more that I can pick from. Let's see. What do I want to do? Let's do crafting, because I am crafty. So I have 2 more that I can choose from. Let's do society. Able to talk to people and understand people more often since we've seen multiple people in our backstory. And then... I think medicine would be cool too. People get injured all the time, and we've been trained that to help people, to patch them up. Awesome. So you're gonna do that, and like I said, mine already adds the bonuses. You will add your bonuses depending on if you're trained expert, master, legendary. And I know I keep reiterating that, but like I said, I'm a person that asks a lot of questions. And when I was creating my character, this was the stuff that I was questioning. So I want to make sure that I can keep like beating that into whoever's watching. Like, this is how you do it and everything, and like that's just keep adding those modifiers. And like I said, mine's already adding it, but you're all good. So now we move down the list even more. We're past skills. We're done with skills. Now with attacks. So attacks is like weapons. So we are trained in simple, martial, and unarmed. So now we go to the bottom left of the page where it says weapon proficiencies. Trained in simple. Click that. Trained in martial. Click that. And then we are trained in unarmed. So click that. And we just type in unarmed. Awesome. Bada bing, bada boom. You're set. Now, oh sorry, I was looking at the weapons for a second. Now we go down to defenses. Defenses trained in light armor, medium armor, and unarmored. And unarmored does matter. You might be like, well, why would I want to be unarmored? Depending on what class you are, you might want to be unarmored because you'll get better bonuses. Like rogues get hella good bonuses from unarmored. Like, hella good. So we go here. Light armor. Bing. Medium armor. Bing. Oh. Bing. Bing. Unarmored. Bing. Awesome. So we're set there. We're A-okay there. Now, we go down to class DC. So, this is one where not everybody is trained in their class DC. I think Rogue isn't. So they are. Never mind. They are. So remember, this is what I'm going off of what I remember, but always double check. So, Wizard. Perfect example. Wizard is not trained in their class DC. So if you were playing a Wizard, then you will not do what I'm going to do right now. So, right here, trained in class DC, trained in Barbarian class DC for me. I'm going to go over here where it says class DC. Boom. I'm trained. Now, another thing that you need to remember is when you're trained, or if you're not trained, is that it's going to say class DC in your key ability. So it's, when it says key, what it's asking you is that your key ability. So remember how when we go up, this says key ability right here for Barbarian. It's strength. So it's going to take my strength modifier. So I'll go here. My strength modifier is 4. Enter that in. I have a 17 now here. But let's say we are playing a class that has multiple key abilities that we can choose from. Rogue is... Actually, let's not even do Rogue. Let's do Fighter. So, Fighter, you can choose Strength or Dexterity. Let's say you chose Dexterity. Instead of adding your Strength to it, like I did, you are adding your Dex modifier. For me, let's say if I chose it, I would add a 0 there. But for you, if you chose it, you would add whatever the ability modifier is, depending on your class. If you're playing a Wizard, it may be Intellect. If you're playing Sorcerer, it may be Intellect or Wisdom. I believe Sorcerers are Wisdom also. Depending on what bloodline you choose, so on and so forth. I will actually do a Sorcerer for the spell casting because they are complicated. And I want to do a Sorcerer. So, depending on your key ability, just remember that. It's only on your key ability. Even if your key ability, like if you choose Dex here, but your Dex is a 14 and your Strength is an 18, and you chose your key ability as Dex, you still put your Dex mod as the key ability, even if something else is higher, because that is your key ability. So let's go back to Barbarian. So now that's done. Class DC is done. Now let's scroll down. Boom. Now, a good way to gauge what you are getting at your level is right here. So let's go down what we've already done. Ancestry and background. We've done that. Initial proficiencies. We've done that. Now, rage, instinct, and our barbarian feat. Let's start with rage. So this is my rage skill. I automatically get it. So I'm going to scroll down here. Class feats and abilities, feature first. I'm going to do rage. Boom. Easy. Now, I'm not going to read what rage does. I know what rage does. And this is different depending on it. This isn't supposed to be an in-depth barbarian tutorial, but I'm not going to go into it. So, we can cross rage off of our list. We're done with it. Now, instinct. Let's scroll down. Go down, skip all this. Let's go. So, instincts are right here. For classes, they're going to be different. For sorcerers, they're going to be bloodlines, and rogues, they're going to be rackets. So just make sure that you're paying attention to what they're labeled as. I call them subclasses or archetypes. So if you hear me say archetype or subclass, just know that I'm using them interchangeably depending on what I'm saying. Just as the best way for me to do it. So, and I already knew the instinct that I wanted to choose for my character. So I'm going to go down. So I have animal. Animal's cool. I have dragon, fury, giant, spirit. And I already know which one I was going to do. So I picked giant. Pretty simple. So we go down here. So feature first. Giant instinct. Depending on your class, your archetype subclass is going to be different. It's going to be labeled different. Oops, did not mean to do that. Didn't mean to scroll it. So, depending on who you are, you can have a anathema, which means that if you do this, you are stripped of your subclass and your archetype. Which, depending on your DM, will either kill your character, your DM might not even care, or you might get a warning not to do it. Depending on, for me, I warn my players not to do it. It's their anathema. And I remind them how bad it is. If they keep doing it, I will strip them of their archetype subclass, and their character is no more because they cannot go into. I mean, they can if they wanted to. This is like not in the rules or anything. It's the whole homebrew stuff. Is that their character? Nothing else. If they are like for the giant instinct, you are grown into this. So if you are stripped of it, how can you go to any other instinct, right? So I stripped my characters completely. That character is dead. They go back to where they're from, and they live out their life as a person who has committed an anathema. That's how I rule it. So, besides anathema, at level 1, we get our Titan Mauler, our instinct ability. So, for giant instinct, we go here. And we can put in parentheses Titan Mauler. And this gives us something special. For me, if I'm wielding a large weapon, it increases my rage damage. Basic. But I become clumsy. So, that's going to be different depending on you. Now, this is as if for a barbarian, you can see the specialization and this raging resistance. You do not get this specialization ability or this raging resistance until you hit a certain level. So let's go over here. Where is it? Yeah, see, raging resistance right here. At level 9, you do not get that, and I say this because I've been confused about this. You do not get your resistance until level 9. Awesome, understandable. And your specialization, your weapon specialization stuff, you do not get that until you get weapon specialization at level 7. So you cannot use your specialization ability or your raging resistance until you hit 7 and 9. If you're playing the barbarian, depending on your class, will different. Always check the table to make sure. Very important thing. So now let's go back up. Instinct is done. Now we're almost done with all of our barbarian stuff already. Pretty easy. Let's go scroll down. Go to barbarian feats. Now at level 1, I'll go back up to show. That says that I get a barbarian feat. But not every class at level 1 gets a feat. That's the thing that you need to be keeping track of. Is not everybody gets one. And that's totally fine. You don't need to get one. Because the classes that don't get one at level 1, their subclass or their archetype gives them already a feat from the level 1 column. One second, let me drink some water. So let me go back and let me go to another class to show you this. Let's go to Bard. It's really good. I don't get one. So if you see in Bard, if you're playing a Bard, you do not get to choose a level 1 feat because your Muse, which is your archetype or subclass, is giving you that. Just remember that. It's a double check if it's giving you that. See how level 2 it says that you do gain a Bard feat? That's the thing. Is it's giving you at level 1, and level 2, that's when you get to choose. So let's go back to Barbarian. So I have a couple options with Barbarian. Acute Vision, Moment of Clarity, Raging Intimidation, Raging Thrower, Sudden Charge. Let's see. Thrown weapons become especially deadly in your fury. You apply the additional damage from your rage to your thrown weapon attacks if you have the Brutal Critical feat or the Devastator class feature. Okay, so right here, this is a scaling ability. And I say it's a scaling ability because it has if. If you have this, if you have blank, this is a scaling ability. So later on, if I have Brutal Critical feat or the Devastator class feature, which I believe is given because this says class feature. Remember the difference between features, feats, or class features and feats. Remember that difference is that those are one's a given and one's a choose. So, this is a scaling ability and that's cool. Let's choose. This is cool. Acute Vision's cool. I don't know how much I'll use it, but it's definitely cool. Let's do Raging Thrower. I like that. I like Raging Thrower. So go here. You go to your class feats and abilities. Raging Thrower. Awesome. Boom. Done with all of your barbarian stuff. Or all of your class stuff for now. Now you get to move on to... Oh. Okay. I made a mistake. Not with my class or my background. I made a mistake with my race. And I didn't mean to make this mistake, but I saw it in my accessory feats and abilities. I made the mistake. All good. We're not that far. We can go back and switch it. We go to human. Now, just like barbarians and classes, you have your subclasses and your archetypes. By the way, fighters don't have subclasses or archetypes. Just putting that out there. Yeah, I need to say that because they don't. For humans and any race, you have heritages. So it's where you're from. So human heritages. For this, I already know what I want to choose because I thought about it. So that's why I thought that I finished it. I'm going to choose a versatile heritage. So, versatile heritages, I get, so let's go here, versatile. It says that I get a general feat of my choice if I meet the prerequisites. Okay, awesome. I'm not going to do that now, but I will remember that. I'm sorry for going so far into the barbarian stuff without doing that. It's fine. This didn't change anything. It's not going to change anything, really. A lot of these won't change your character. Like, you could be done with your character. They're not going to, like, completely change your character. We're going to be changing numbers unless it's, like, a certain skill. So don't worry about it. I made that mistake. You should be good. Now, it says I get a general feat. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to continue my barbarian stuff. So let's go back to barbarian. And even though I said I was done, I'm going to go through here and double check. Accessory, background, initial, rage, instinct, barbarian feat. Alright, I got that all down. Now we moved on to another part, and that is gear. So go to equipment, armor. I always start with armor. You can start with weapons. Let's see. I don't have any dex, so I'm not gonna go unarmored. Huh. Let's go to medium armor to get that big upfront boost. And if you can see, it says strength. There's a strength requirement for these, right? Well, I have strength 18, so I can wear full plate if I wanted to. But one, I can't afford full plate. You start off at level 1 with 15 gold pieces. I cannot afford full plate, nor can I wear because it's level 2 gear. I can only wear level 1 gear because I'm level 1. So, the question now is, do I want to spend over half of my gold on breastplate? Man, that looks mighty fine though. Yeah, you know what, let's do it. I'm going to spend 8 gold on this breastplate. Because why not? So we're going to go here. Let's go down to inventory, worn items, breastplate, bulk. So we go here, so it says bulk, 2. Awesome. So now we're at 2 bulk. This is your encumbrance, and here will tell you what it is. So remember, mine autofilled. You don't have to autofill. Well, it won't autofill for you. Sorry. So encumbered, it's 5 at base, for regular, and then it says strength. My strength is 4, so it goes to 9. For encumbered, for maximum, is 10 plus my strength modifier, and it's going to be strength for you also, and it's 4 for me. So I can hit 9 and be encumbered, or I can hit 8 and not be encumbered, or I can hit 14 at maximum encumbrance. Please do not hit maximum encumbrance. You will be debuffed up the wazoo if you're at max encumbrance. Do not do it. So now breastplate, that's good. Now it says AC bonus is 4. So what this means is that when we go back up here, so item right here, 4, because it's giving us 4 for the armor, and of course this will change. So I'm trained, it's medium, I'm trained in it, so I go over here, medium. Now you're probably wondering, and I've been thinking about this whole time how I've been talking. I don't mean to. I've been told I sound condescending. I don't mean to sound condescending. It's just how I talk. I'm trying to be as informative as I can because I don't want whoever does watch this or is watching this to be left out and have so many questions they just can't be answered. And I want to make this as good as possible for the person watching it live or watching it the recording, if of course they choose it. So, a dex cap is your maximum dex that you can add. So let's say I have a dex modifier of 4, right? Well, padded armor has a dex cap of 3. That means that I can only use 3, like I can only put 3 dex in there to increase it. So it says cap, so for we're using breastplate as a dex cap of 1, right? But I have a dex of 0. So if I always want to be at the dex cap, well, you don't want to be below the dex cap really, because you want to be giving the maximum efficiency of armor. But for me, I didn't stat myself for dex, so I don't get a bonus to my armor. A dex cap is limiting your dex bonus. So if you have 4 dex and padded armor has 3, you can only add 3 to your armor because it is limiting how much of your dex can actually be used. It's a little tricky to understand, and I hope I understand it well. It's always been a hard thing for me to explain. But the breastplate has a dex cap of 1. I don't have dex, so I'm not even hitting the cap, nor am I giving myself a +1 bonus. So I'm losing out on 1 AC, not too big of a problem. We're barbarian, we're strong. Cool, so breastplate, good, armor is all set. So 10 plus your dex to your caps, 10 plus your dex, or to your dex cap if you beat your dex cap. So like I said, if you beat your dex cap, if padded armor is 3 and you have 4, then you just add +3. You don't add 4, you add +3 because it is capping how much of your dex score can add. I'm trained, so it's 2 plus my level for my proficiency, and it's giving me an AC bonus right here of 4, so right here, 4. All set. Little tricky, but as you get through it, it will make more sense. Now let's go down and let's get some weapons going for our character. I love this art. I love how they make the cleric. I think she looks so cool. I love how she looks. Armors and everything like that. This is, in my games, I don't worry about armor too much because it's a little bit extra to be worrying about armor a lot, and I just don't think it's fun to be worrying about armor like that, because if you worry about armor too much, it's, I don't think it makes for a fun time, because like, oh, my armor's broken, time to go all the way back to my city or wherever and fix my armor. I don't worry about it. That's DM's discretion, so take it up with your DM. Shields, I should explain shields. Do I explain shields or not? I do want to explain shields. The problem is that I don't want to confuse people. So I'm not going to explain shields. I'm not going to explain shields right now. When we hit the end of the build, I'll explain shields, because those are a little bit tricky. So I'll explain shields after. But let's just keep this going. And these are just telling you how attack rolls and damage rolls work. I'm not gonna explain that. Your DM can explain that. But knowing me, I'll most likely fucking explain it. Because I want to make sure. Okay, so we are trained in simple and martial. I'm going with martial weapons. I don't need a simple weapon. I can get better stuff from the martial spell. From the martial tree. So I have quite a few weapons to choose from. And you can see these weapon traits right here. I'll go over whatever weapon I choose. I'll go over the traits, and then I'll just talk about the traits in general. But uncommon, remember, if you're looking at uncommon advanced weapons, you have to fulfill a certain criteria to have those weapons. Same thing with uncommon martials. You have to fulfill a certain criteria, mainly, please DM, can I have this elven curved blade even though it's rare? Like, can I have it? For me, I don't think elven curved blades, or a lot of these, should be rare, so they're open. I put them under the common, but DM's discretion. But let's go from here. Let's pick a weapon. Let's pick our main weapon. And we're trained with martials, so we can use any of these weapons right here. Whether these weapons will be good for us or not, that would be the key. So I'm going to quickly, if I go silence because I'm reading, I'm trying to think about what I would want to use here. Let's see. I think a halberd would be cool. A glaive would be cool, wherever it is. A glaive would be cool. Or a scythe. I think that would be cool too. For this character. I've always been a fan of polar arms. So... Or pole arms, sorry. Let's see. Interesting. I think I am going to go... I'm gonna go with the glaive. I love glaives. They're one of my favorite weapons. So we're gonna go here. So weapon, put a glaive. Go there, and its strength. It's always gonna be a strength unless you have a special class feature that changes it. Be that. My proficiency, I'm trained, right? Go down here, martial, trained. Item, this weapon isn't giving me any bonuses, so I don't need to worry about that. Now, right here where it says 7, that's what I rolled to attack. So you're like, when you're in combat, you're like, I roll to attack. This is the number that you're adding to your d20 to hit. Now, we go down here and it says dice. Well, the glaive does a d8, so 1d8 strength, because it's a strength-based weapon. Do that, and you see here how it says like S, that means slashing, so slashing, piercing, bludgeoning. Some weapons can do 2 of them. Weapon specialization, it would be I believe that would be group. And I say I believe because I kind of just, you know, we'll just do P. For polearm. So now we do other. Don't need to worry about that. Because that's like special. Yeah, that's something special. It's not dawning on me what that means exactly, so we're just putting that there. So weapon traits, so you see here where it says weapon traits. Every weapon has traits. They all do something. So glaive, let's go here. I have deadly D8. Cool, I like the deadly trait. Forceful. Cool. And I have reach. Cool. So I'm happy about those traits. I'll take another sip of my water. Okay. So glaive. So now let's go down to traits and let me explain what these traits are. And every weapon has traits. Except crossbow. But that's because... that's for other reasons. Yeah, that's for other reasons. If they don't have a trait, you don't need to worry about it, but all of them have traits. Even crossbow, and I say that because you can get special things for crossbow. So, yeah, even crossbow. Now let's go down a little bit more. So let's start with deadly. On a critical hit, the weapon adds a damage die of the listed size. Roll this after doubling the weapon's damage. So if I crit, I roll my d8, I add my modifier, and then I double it. So let's say I have a d8 right here. Best way to explain it. So I'm going to roll. I rolled a 6. I add my strength, which is this right here. I add that to my damage. That would be a 10. I then double that damage on a crit. Whoa. Normally, without deadly or fatal, I'll talk about fatal too because they are different. On deadly, on a regular weapon, that's where you end. But with a deadly weapon, on that 20, I get to roll another d8 in there. So I rolled a 10, I doubled that to 20. Now let's add another for my deadly d8. Roll again, I added 3. So now 23 damage in total. Pretty sweet. And a cool thing about that is that was a hard fucking hit because this is a barbarian. I can add my rage damage to my bonus. So if this is a huge glaive, I rolled a 6 out of 4, so 10, and then because my rage damage is a 6, that's a 16. That's 32 damage right there, and then I add a d8 on top of that. That's 35 damage on one hit. Pretty sweet. Now, before I talk about the other ones, I want to talk about Fatal. So Fatal is like Deadly, except there's a slight difference. Instead of just adding the Deadly die at the end, what Fatal is doing is that it's increasing your regular damage die. So if you crit, right? Let's say my glaive is a D8. Let's say it has Fatal D10, and I crit. Instead of rolling a D8 for my regular damage dice, it gets buffed to a D10. Pretty sick. So now I do, instead of a D8 for my crit damage, I do a D10 plus 4. So I'll roll that here. So, boom. I rolled a 9 on my Fatal. So 9 plus 4, 13. And then let's add my rage damage on here. So 6. So, 19, because I thought I said 14. 19, right? We can double that into a 38. 35 damage is ridiculously fucking high. It's crazy. And right now, with Fatal, I'm doing 38 damage because the Fatal is boosting my damage die to a higher size. But another thing with Fatal that makes it the strongest ever is that I'm not done yet. We ain't done yet, kids. Is that just like Deadly, where after you double all your crit damage, you can add another damage die onto your crit damage. So Fatal does, let's say mine was Fatal D10. After that 38 damage, I can roll my Fatal damage die, which is a D10, and I can add it. I got a 3, so I did 41 damage right there. And that is the difference. Is Fatal increases your damage die size and adds a die at the end. Deadly just adds a die at the end. That's the biggest difference. And you're probably thinking, well, why would I pick a Deadly weapon if I can choose a Fatal weapon? Because there's only a couple Fatal weapons and they play a little bit differently. And for the build I'm going for with this Barbarian as my like showcase build, Deadly works better here. And because I'm choosing Glaive, I don't want to choose a Fatal weapon. So that's the biggest thing, is that small thing. Is that small difference is increasing the damage die and getting to add one, while Deadly is just adding one at the end. So that's the biggest thing. Also, you with Fatal. So with Fatal, you don't get to, later on when you get like special weapons, you get to add like more dice and stuff like that. Fatal does not have a cascading or a buff to that. Deadly does have a buff. It does have a scaling buff as you go on if you have a striking rune, which I can talk about also. But move on to Forceful. This weapon becomes more dangerous as you build momentum. When you attack with it more than once on a turn, the second attack gains a circumstance bonus to damage equal to the number of weapon damage dice, and each subsequent attack gains a circumstance bonus to damage equal to the double the number of weapon damage dice. That's inflated for telling you when you hit your damage dice right here, depending on how many of these you have, because there is special runes that will increase it to 2 to 3 to 4. All it's saying is that right there, your first attack's normal. Your second attack, you can take a +1 because of that. And when something says a circumstance bonus, it's just a increase to it. So a lot of things you can see is going to say circumstance bonus to this, circumstance bonus to that. It just means that it's giving you a bonus to whatever you are looking at. So what's happening here is that on my second attack, I am getting a circumstance bonus of +1 because I only have 1 damage die. So what I do here is that I attack, right? I roll my d20, blah blah, it goes through. When you roll a second attack on attacking, you take a -5 to your attack whenever you attack for the second time. So what this is doing instead is giving me a -4 instead of a -5. And then for your third attack, what's happening there is that you take a -10 to your attack, but with forceful, instead of -10, since it's doubling now because it's my third attack, since it's doubling the amount of damage I should have, it'd be a -8 instead of a -10. Those are just basic weapon rules. First attack is normal, second attack -5 to your attack, third attack is -10. And then remember, if you have the forceful trait, you are instead taking a -4 and a -8 unless you have more damage die. But if you're starting level 1, you won't get the higher damage die until level 6, if you're lucky. So now we're gonna do a reach. What's interesting here is that since I am a giant barbarian, and this is a giant glaive, I forgot to add that. And since this is a giant glaive, let's see. Reach. This weapon is long to be used to attack creatures up to 10 feet away instead of only adjacent creatures. I don't have a diagram to show you what that means. It just means that people are directly near you. But what's interesting is that if we look at the giant instinct, let me go here. Giant gives us reach too. Well, the large weapon gives us reach. So let's see. Wait, I thought it did. Oh, never mind. It doesn't. But there are certain weapons that do. So for that, instead of just having a +10 to my reach, I would be at a +15 to my reach, as a +15 feet that I can be hitting. So instead of having to be, so normally they have to be adjacent to you. Reach, they can be 10 feet away from you. If I'm large and I have a reach weapon, I can be 15 feet away from them and smack them with my weapon. So pretty sweet. I like it a lot. So go here, go back to weapons. So we're good on that, but we have the raging thrower feat. So we kind of want something thrown so we don't waste that feat. And I'm just gonna grab some javelins. Oh, let me subtract how much my glaive is. 1 gold, okay. Oh my god, you're breaking my bank with 1 gold piece. Oh no. I'm gonna get some javelins. So I'm gonna put javelins here because you can use them melee and ranged. Yeah. So you can use them both. Let's see. Yeah, see, it has the throwing trait, so I can throw it as a ranged attack. Wait, yeah. Now I'm gonna use javelins because you can include them here. Trained 4, like we did before. Go here. Javelins, a d6. So 1d6. It is going to be piercing. Click, whatever. 4 on that. Traits are just thrown. It's gonna be 30 feet, so we're gonna do 30 feet. So we know that we have to stay within a 30-foot range from the person we're throwing it at. They're 1 silver. We have 6. Let's buy 10 javelins. We'll buy 10 javelins. So we'll take off that. So now it's 5. Keep going. We're basically set now. The character is all done. Pretty simple. But that's because it is a ice throw. Gosh, I don't know why that was. Simple character. Almost done. Do this. Glaive. Oh, whoops. Glaive is going to be 2 bulk. And then a javelin. So if something says L, so you can see right here it says L, that just means that you can, it takes 10 L's to make 1 bulk. So I have 10, so I am taking 1 bulk. So I'm at 5. And before, because I am forgetting one thing, and I do remember, is let's go and let's pick my human feat. I have a human general feat that I can choose because I chose the versatile. So let's go down here. Feats. And it's a general feat, so it has to be out of these ones. I'm gonna do Die Hard. Wait, actually no. Not Die Hard. I'm doing Toughness. Sorry. I'm doing Toughness. There it is. So right here, Heritage, Versatile, Special, Toughness. You can stand more punishment than most before succumbing. Increase your maximum hit points by your level. Increase your... So, I'm level 1, so I can add this. So, 23. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. And you can reduce the DC of recovery checks by 1. So, that's the dying condition, the wounded condition, and stuff along those lines. But, there you go. If you were following along this whole time, your character is probably nearing complete or probably done. Of course, depending on your character. And it only took a little less than an hour and a half. Pretty sweet. Character's all good. Hit points. Name. We should come up with a name. What would be a cool name? What would be a cool name? Or just a name. Oh, I have 5 gold. And while I'm thinking about this, go down here. I have 5. Oh no, I'm not gonna give this guy a name. See. Oh, I should show a. Well, I'm going to. Free use barb character. I'll just do that. Save. Cool. Easy. Okay. So I'm actually going to open up one of my higher level characters. Not a confused, but just, I say higher level. He's level 2. And I'm only gonna open him up just because to show you the difference between a spellcaster and a martial and what yours might look like if you are a spellcaster. And don't worry, I am going to make a spellcaster right now. I'm just looking at this. I want to find it. Here we go. So let's go here. So this is Keeldor. Pretty sweet. You can see all of his stuff going through. He does have fire resistance because he's a lizard folk. He's a druid, green faith. Oops. Okay, that's interesting. So just looking at all of this, just gonna slowly scroll down. So you can see that mine right here is different. That's also because some of it got moved down here, but that's because I moved it down there. We can see my spells and stuff like that. Okay, so one more thing before I do anything. I am going to start making the mage character, but I will be right back. Sorry, I was actually resetting some stuff. So we're gonna make a wizard or spellcasting class now. I say wizard, I meant spellcasting. And I got cookies, so sorry. I know it's gonna be a video, but like, I'm also live streaming it. I could have prepared better. Okay. So let's go to Sorcerer. Well, actually, let's start with who we want this person to be. Let's go Ancestries. Let's do an elf. Let's do an elf. Why not? Elf. Sorcerer. What? Go here. So now, I didn't start off like this before, but since if you've watched the first half, you might understand a little bit better. I'm gonna immediately choose my heritage. Let's do Cavern Elf. It's simple. I don't want to make it too crazy, so we'll do Cavern Elf. Cavern Elf, so Sorcerer 1. Let's do what I mentioned before. Go here. 10, 10, 10. Oops. 10. 10. Okay. Easy. So Cavern Elf gives us dark vision. So remember what I said with the Barbarian's senses? So dark vision. Easy. We get low light, but we have dark vision, so I'm not gonna put it down because I just think in my own head we get it. I mean, like, as in, music's loud. One second. Huh. Okay. What I was saying, whatever. Okay. So, Cavern Elf. Cool. Background, not gonna worry about that right now. Class, Sorcerer. Now, go here. So hit points, remember how we did it before. HP. 6. Now remember your hey, boom, boom, right there. So remember before is that your race or your ancestry will determine like your HP and stuff like that. So let's continue going through. So size medium, go over here. Where is it? Am I blind? Well, I am, but as in I have bad eyesight. I have so many fucking things wrong with my eyes. That's bad. Uh, 30 feet, because I get it 30 feet from there. Ability boost, so I get Dex, Intelligence, and I get a free one. So, and there's an ability flaw. I'll talk about that in a second. So let's give it. So, Dex, so this is giving me this. So, like the human, well, unlike the human where I got to choose, I do not get to choose here. This is what it's giving me. And I get a free one, and Sorcerer's Charisma, so I'm putting in Charisma. Now, Elf has an ability flaw. So unlike a boost, where the boost is a +2, an ability flaw is a -2. So for Constitution, we go from 10 to 8. I will get rid of that as fast as I can, because screw that. No, go down languages, sorry. I probably shouldn't eat and do this. Now, we go from here. Languages are common, elven, and additional equal to my intelligence modifier. Remember, we did that last after we had all of our boost set done with already. So we'll put the ones that it automatically gives us. My traits are elf and humanoid. Easy. Hero points 0, level 1. Low light vision, I already know that. Deity, that will determine. Well, we're not gonna do that because waits till until what bloodline we get basically. Okay, so now let's go to a background. You know what? I saw and I've never chose this background before. I'm gonna choose artist. I've never chose it. I never thought about it. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to choose artist. So for artists, one can be Dex or Charisma for my boost, and one's a free. I'm going to choose Charisma because sorcerers are Charisma based. My free one, I'm going to bump this back up to a 10. And I gain the crafting skill. Boom. And I get the art lore. Sorry. Let's go. I gain the specialty crafting skill feat. So skill feat. Specialty crafting. Cool. I'll have to look at it because it does do something. Okay, so now we're done there. Got that. Now let's go to sorcerer. Key ability is charisma. Do that. So now I have 4 more. I'm doing charisma. I will do intelligence because why not? I will do constitution because why not? And then I will do dex because dex is buffed also because I can. Okay, cool. And I am running through this faster because I did cover it already. Oops, not 23. Jeez, not 23. Boom. So intelligence, so I can learn 2 more languages. Let me just double check. Yep. I will choose Draconic. And I will do Orcish. Cool, so now we're done here. Nothing else. Okay. Okay. So, remember how I said that I would make a mistake? So, I'm definitely going to have to download this video and I'll re-upload it because I did make a mistake. At level 1, you get an ancestry feat. I fucked up and I forgot about that on the Barbarian. So, ancestry feats, heritage, it's going to be dark vision, whatever. Feet first, it's going to be nimble elf. So, I want to put this in. By the way, I messed up. You get an ancestry feat, and I'm making my elf right now. Make sure to grab an ancestry feat from your race. Thank you. Okay, so now when I needed that so I can splice it into the video. So I do that. That's all set. That's all I need. Gosh, I can't believe I fuck that. I can't believe I didn't remember that. I thought I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not missing anything. Yeah, fuck. Okay, so trained in perception. Boop. Trained in fortitude. Boop. Okay. And then trained in reflex and expert in will. Boop, boop. Skills. I'm trained in one or more skills determined by my bloodline. So this is where it comes to the fact that I need to do a bloodline. Because it's already coming up and... Oh, I'm scrolling in the wrong area. Let's choose a bloodline. Sorcerer is my favorite spellcasting class. They're just amazing in general. You can't go wrong with the sorcerer. I think they're so versatile. Let's do diabolic. So spell list, I gained the divine spell list. I'm not a fan of the divine spell list. There's 4 different spell lists. There's divine, primal, arcane, and occult. I don't like divine too much because it's very buffs oriented. I don't need to buff, but this is the character. I just going on it for a diabolic flavor. Okay. So, bloodline skills, I get deception and religion. Let's double check. So, trained in 1 or more skills determined, so deception and religion. So, go here, deception or religion. Train number of skills, additional skills equal to 2 plus your intelligence modifier. So, 4 more skills. Definitely going with the charisma traits because I can. Let's do thievery. There we go. That's all 4. Attacks trained in simple and unarmed. Boop. And then boop. Unarmed. Cooled. Spells. I'm trained in the spell tackles of my spellcasting tradition, which would be divine. So go down here. You mark that. Training spell DCs of my spell. Yep. And I'm trained. Yeah, I'm trained in both of these. I don't know why you wouldn't be. So 4, easy peasy. So 3, like I said, I'm going through this faster because I can afford to go through it a little bit faster. Okay, class feats. Go down here. Bloodline. Did that. Sorcerer spell casting. So this is where a little bit more of the ticking time is going to go. Is the bloodline, yep, blah blah, bloodline, yep. Let's go down here. So spell repertoire. This is where we want to look at. At first level, you learn 2 first level spells of your choice and 4 cantrips of my choice. Huh. Okay. So let's go to the divine. Oh, I think it's gonna give me something too. Wait. Yeah, so we get one from our bloodline. So let's do that. We're diabolic. So we get cantrip is produce flame. Actions is 2. Prep doesn't require prep. I'm not going to do anything crazy right there because I already know it. And the first level we get charm. That's a 2 action also. Not gonna do anything special because I don't need to. I understand this. Okay, so now the bloodline spells, we get those. I believe we get that. Okay, so we do. We get the sorcerer. Where is it? We get this diabolic edict. Focus points 1. We're at a maximum of 1. By the way, focus points, you can only have a maximum of 3 focus points. Actions, I don't know what diabolic edict does, so I'm not going to put anything down for that, but I will in a second. So let's go look at spells. Spells. I can learn 5 cantrips and 2 regular spells. Well, first level spells, I should say regular. First level spells. So divine right here. So divine spells. So I am definitely going to learn chill. Chill touch, sorry. Like I said, I know these spells. I'm going to do days, I know that one. Divine Lance, I know that one, so I'm going to choose a 2. Definitely going to choose light, because you can't go wrong with that. And then shield, same thing, you just actually stabilize. I was going to choose shield, but stabilize. And the reason I was going to choose shield, because I can put up a shield, blocks myself. But stabilize, if I'm playing a divine spellcaster, I think I should at least have stabilize, because then you're just gonna have your party being like, you have the divine spell list, why don't you have stabilize or anything like that, you know? So that's the biggest thing. And we're gonna do HP right now, by the way. So first level. Let's do Spirit Link, because I like that spell, even though it is highly dangerous. Spirit Link. Highly dangerous. And we'll do Bane. So, nothing really damaging except Produce Flame, Chill Touch, and Divine Lance. But, yeah, these are cool. So, awesome. Okay, so cantrip level was 1. Spells 2. Sorry. Wait, how many spells can we use in a day? Sorcerer spells per day, 3, sorry. And I believe they're spontaneous. I believe they're spontaneous casters. Yeah, he's spontaneous, which means that other classes, the other spellcasting classes, they have to pick what spells in each slot and how many they're using a day. Sorcerers, they're spontaneous. They can use any spell for any slot. Pretty sick. So we're good with spells. I know I chose those pretty quick, mainly because it's pretty easy getting through a sorcerer. I mean, I've done it multiple times, and I don't mean to be rushing too hard through it, but I've just done it. So let's do HP. So 6 plus my con mod. My con mod is 1. Sorry, it's 1. So 12, 13 HP. I mean, wait, really? 13 HP? Really? Goddamn. I'm sorry. Oh, that would, man. That is a yikes from me. I need to stand up. I need to stretch for a second. That is really a yikes moment. Right? 6 plus 6, and then, yeah, gosh. Man, if you get hit, like I've played a sorcerer before, but I've usually played them when they're like level 2 or 3 already, so I can at least take one punch. God damn, 13. Jeez. Let's see. Oh, we need to pick feats. So, sorcerer. Oh, you actually, I don't get a feat at level 1. So now it is equipment, and then we're done because I've already chosen spells. I'm most likely gonna go unarmored. Oh wait, what the heck? Did I not finish my? I didn't mark it down. Oh, I must have not finished it. Oops, I'm sorry. Trained in simple weapons. Boop. Oh, it just didn't even click. Okay. Untrained. Okay, so I don't have any of that. But I'm trained in an unarmored things game. Yeah, see? That's what I was like, I'm most likely just not gonna wear armor. So here, that, I'm trained. Cool. I have 15 AC. Cool. I'm just gonna give him a dagger. I don't need a special weapon really on him. Save his gold for other things. A dagger is agile, and it has finesse. So I believe agile, yep, but it has finesse. So I can use my dexterity modifier here. I'm trained. Dexterity modifier 2. Dice is 1d4. Strength. I can't use it for damage. Believe. Let me double check finesse. Where is it? Yeah. Do that. It's gonna be. I believe it's piercing. Yeah, piercing. Traits. Agile. Finesse. Thrown. 10 feet. And versatile. So versatile, S means that I can switch grips and make it slashing instead of piercing, because some things are resistant to piercing but not slashing, and vice versa. So actually, I feel like I did this a lot quicker than I should have. So I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I'm still missing my sorcerer feats. Because I don't get one. I keep forgetting. I don't get them. I don't get them at that time. Feature. Bloodline. Sorcerer. Spell casting. I was like, yeah, I don't get one. Go down here, and these are all. This will be all the feats. So when you level up, you'll get the feats and stuff like that. Yep, super quick. Nothing crazy. This is done. I mean, you can add more to there, but no, I mean, it's all set and done. Pretty chill. Let me double check. You're going down here. Yeah, wow. I finished that a lot quicker than I thought I was. Like, I thought, oh, it's gonna be super long. But, no. It was... Huh. Got my spell repertoire. Huh. That's interesting. Let's see. Well, the two characters that we made today. One took an hour and a half, and another took 30 minutes. Pretty easy. I like that. Yeah, I'm sure I'm missing something because this has just seemed a little bit too easy. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Hmm. Okay, 1 second. I'm sitting on my mic. I'm just gonna check something really quick. I want to go. So I'm trying to get to the YouTube live studio. Dang. Trying to think of how. Because I'm not really. I want to stream longer. I don't know if I want to. What I want to do or play. That's the problem I'm having. Let me see. Okay. Well, I guess probably play some Apex for a second. And I can't promise I'll play Apex for a while. I've kind of just do that, do that. Alright. Oop. heck? Ooh. Huh. Interesting.
Fenster in, Fenster out.
You and I will survive together.
Sounded locked. Just like old times, Dad.
Whoa, that's a cool skin.
This is your champion.
What happened to Valkyrie here?
I'm the jump master.
Follow
I'll lead
me.
the way.
Valkyries, Jump Master Actual. Follow my headings. Let's make a varsity play for together. Hell yeah!
Never mind.
Hit my keyboard. I mean, I hit my mouse. And when I was readjusting my keyboard.
First blood already? If you flame out this soon, why can't it come?
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
New kill leader. I'll make sure they don't sneak up on us.
Optics here. Close range.
Kill leader eliminated.
Detailed enclosure.
Come on.
Cargo box shut down.
The ring's close, and it's a good thing. Only have 30 seconds left.
Standard stock here. Level 3. Shotgun bolt here.
Got some loot for you guys here.
Extended light mag here. Level 3.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
10 seconds. The ring is close.
Sounds good. I want to upgrade my armor anyways. Just gonna get a little bit more resource.
Use the map as your guide. The ring is moving.
I like this whole spawn with armor, but like finding blue and purple armor is so much harder now.
Yeah, even though they said that they were going to reduce the drop with white armor, and yet they're still going with white armor.
But I guess it prompts people to drop in like high population areas.
Care package being delivered.
Forcibly get a
Incoming
blue
care
shield.
package. Pro tip, don't try grabbing something moving at that trajectory.
I have located the exit. Trust your map.
I think the whole purpose of just dropping with white armor was to reduce the number of people that just got 3v1 fist fought right off drop.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea. I just think they shouldn't have reduced the drop rate for the other armors.
I don't think they did.
It
Or at
feels
least-
like they did. Like, I could be wrong, but
Oh. Oh shit.
Attention. The kill leader has been eliminated.
my ult's up if you guys want to fly anywhere. Try to catch
Yeah, I'm
team
down.
pants down.
The boat here.
Imagine wearing pants.
Station, we are go for burn. Go for burn.
Geyser?
A life vest is
Pass
located
over
under
geyser,
your
see
seat,
if you see anyone.
but you don't have a seat. Hope you can swim.
That's a negative.
I spotted an enemy.
Hello.
I'm in trouble.
Battling the enemy. Shots
Whoa.
I was a star.
One crack behind those barrels.
Yeah, I cracked one with gold armor. I'm healing and then I'm gonna pop ult.
Taking fire.
Wow, I just got like fucking lasered.
I am Blood Hunter. You left me with sight.
Planting fences.
Shot fires at me.
50. I'm helping. Cover me.
Reloading.
You?
Reloading. I'm in trouble.
Crack. Wraith coming around the other side. Crack. She's coming around behind to the left. Wraith coming behind.
Reloading. I died.
Keep a good push. There's a
Just topping off
the
my shields.
one underneath you.
Reloading.
Ramp.
I took out more enemies.
Last one. Left. Good shit.
He's down.
Last one down.
What?
Man, my health though.
Let me help you.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
Thank you.
One sec. Healing up.
Body shield here. Level
Package
4.
being delivered.
I need light
Taking
ammo.
a moment to heal.
an enemy. I spotted an enemy.
They're running. There was 2 in that building, and there's fighting to our left.
Let's go this way.
3, 2, 1, scan.
Scanning the area.
They took the rope.
Enemy spotted.
I spotted an enemy.
Crap, I thought. Is that a lifeline package?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. 7 seconds till scan.
1 minute remains. Someone's level through here.
Taking 5.
One cracked.
Reloading.
Marking ourselves. Thermite grenade set.
Charging on my shield.
Throwing on the sky.
Grenade.
Using.
Is close.
Not sure if that's another
cracked,
team
two
throwing
cracked.
grenades.
One down.
Another squad moving in on us. They're fighting with Gibby right now.
I was behind the wall, dude. Go fuck yourself. I was behind that wall.
They're above me. Taking cover inside for now. Popping wall.
Healing.
No one is inside.
Gibby one hit.
Burning. He's down.
Local cracked.
One more. What?
Right.
Not over yet. Off the radio.
Gosh. Okay, that was actually a shit game. Ruined my mood. Like, I mean, it was a good first fight, but I was just gonna call it there. So thanks for everybody tuning in. I appreciate it. It meant a lot. Pathfinder stuff is what I wanted to do for a while. So I hope everybody has a good rest of their day.